Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today for you guys, we have another video coming at you with a tier list, and we have the tier list for the MLB 2021 first baseman tier list. So we're going to start it off with Anthony Rizzo. Anthony Rizzo in the past is a superstar. This year, I'm going to put him in good. Because he's not all-star quite yet this year. I know he can be all-star because he has been all-star in the past. But for now, I think he's just good. Moving on to the next one, Bobby Bradley. He's actually been pretty good this year. I'm going to give him the benefit and put him in good. Oh, by the way, guys, thank you so much for, as of the time I'm recording this, the video I posted the other day, or yesterday, I think, got 3,700 views. I just want to say thank you so much for all the support on that video. It means the world to me. Alright, so moving on, Brandon Belt. I think he's average. Past couple years, he just hasn't been as good as he was, but average player, you know. Next one, Bobby Dahlbeck. He has been good this year. I'm also going to put him in average, though, but Bobby Dahlbeck is a good player. I mean, he plays for the Boston Red Sox. So, C.J. Croney hit a home run the other night, a grand slam to be exact. I'm gonna have to put him in average, though. Hasn't really had a strong year. He was good with the Minnesota Twins when he played with them, but this year has not been his year. I'd say he's average. Colin Moran, I would put him in average this year, though. I'm pretty sure he's been hurt. I think he's below average. I would like to put him in average. I'm between, because he is a good player, but I just don't know if he's going to be that average player for you, especially since he's not on the best team, but still. Moving on, Carlos Santana. I mean, this guy can hit the baseball hard. I'm going to put him in the good category. Doesn't bat for too high of an average, but he gets a lot of home runs, and he's a pretty good fielder as well. So I gotta put him in the good category. Moving on to Christian Walker. Christian Walker is good, I'd say. But you guys can decide on this one. I gotta put him in below average. He has been good, but I just don't know if he's there yet. I just gotta put him in below average. Obviously, he's with the Diamondbacks, and he hasn't really been too good this year at all. So, moving on to Eric Hosmer. I gotta put Hosmer. This one's a tough one. He's not been very good this year, but he has been good in the past. Hosmer belongs in the average category. He is pretty good at defense, and he can hit home runs. He just hasn't been that great this year yet, but I'm sure he'll break out in the second half. I wouldn't be surprised if he did that. Okay, moving on. Evan White. I gotta put him in below average. He's batting a very low average this year. I think he's like 175 or something. Maybe like 180, I don't know. But I know, that's just not good. He does hit some home runs, you know. He's not a bad player. I don't want to put him in below average. But I think I have to, just because, batting that low of an average is not good. Okay, moving on. Freddie Freeman. I mean, there's no doubt he's an all-star category. I mean, Freddie Freeman, guys. He is so good. So good. I think I already know who I'm going to put in Superstar for this year. Jose Abreu, again, he's right with Freeman. I mean, they both hit lots of home runs, driving lots of RBIs. They don't bat for too high averages, but, I mean, you're driving in those RBIs, getting those home runs. That makes you a good player. Okay, moving on to Jesus Aguilar. Jesus Aguilar he's a good first baseman. He can definitely hit the long bomb. He can hit home runs. He is a power hitter, but hasn't been too good this year. But again, yesterday actually, in the Phillies-Marlins game, the Marlins were down 2-0, and with a man on, Jesus Aguilar dived in a 2-run home run to tie that game, which they ended up losing to a walk-off by JT Realmuto, which I posted on my channel. Go check that out. Link will be in the description down below. Josh Bell. Josh Bell is a good first baseman. You might not disagree with me. I think he plays pretty good defense. I think he can hit the baseball. He's a good player. Yeah, I gotta put him in the good category. G-Man Choi. G-Man Choi is a good first baseman. No, an average first. You might not agree with me. Put him in average here. I mean, he hasn't been that great this year, but in the past, like in the playoffs, in the past, he's been good. He plays good defense, definitely, and he can definitely hit home runs if he needs to. But moving on, Joey Votto, I have to put him in the good category, guys. This year, not the best year for him, but, I mean, his past years have been so good. You just can't. Moving on to Jared Walsh. Jared Walsh, guys, all-star, 100%. He's so underrated. I think I'm going to make a top 10 most underrated players in the league. He might be on there. Even though he did make the All-Star team, but I feel like Jared Walsh is still underrated. He hits home runs. He drives in RBIs. Again, he does all you want from a player. Hits for a good average. Everything you want from a player. That's why he's all-star. Keston Hiura, a bit of a down year. Keston Hiura has been up and down in his career. I'm going to put him in below average. Nothing against him. I think he's a good player. I think he has the potential to be a good player. I just think for now he goes in that below average category. Okay, moving on. Luke Voigt. Below average. I'm sorry, Yankees fans. Luke Voigt plays pretty decent defensively, but he barely has any home runs this year. He only has like 5 or even less, I think, maybe. He doesn't drive in too many RBIs. He just hasn't been that great for the Yankees this year. He might be battling injuries. I'm not quite sure because I don't watch too many Yankees games, guys. Mostly, I watch a lot of Athletics games, which are my favorite team. I also like to watch the Blue Jays play. They are a very exciting team with Vlad Jr., Semien, and Bichette, and Teoscar Hernandez. Also watch the Pirates a lot. They're pretty exciting too, I guess, to watch a lower placed team in action. Alright, moving on. We have the Oakland Athletics. Oakland Athletics gotta be, or Matt Olson here. He has to be an all-star. Has to be an all-star. Because Matt Olson is just flat out amazing, guys. Such a good player. Did great in the home run derby. I can't quite put him in superstar. I want to. Maybe next year he has another good year, another strong year. I will put him in superstar, I promise. Okay, moving on. Max Muncy. You guys might disagree. He's a superstar player. He still made the All-Star game, even though he got voted behind Freeman. He just had a huge night yesterday, I think, or the day before. Drove in a couple RBIs, 2 home runs that night. I mean, this guy's no joke. Plays good defense. You can put him at DH. You can put him at first base. Either way, he just hits home runs, drives in a ton of RBIs. I mean, he's a great player. Miguel Sano is average. I mean, when he hits the home run, it's out of here, but hasn't done it too much this year. He's been struggling. Moving on, Nate Lau. I'm going to put him in average. He's pretty good. I mean, he plays for the Texas Rangers. He's not too bad of a player. Moving on to Pete Alonso, your 2021 Home Run Derby winner. He's all-star. He can hit home runs like crazy. And he can do pretty much everything for you as a player on a team. Moving on, Paul Goldschmidt is good. He's good. He hits home runs. He's an older player, but he's still got it in him. Moving on, Rhys Hoskins. Might be surprised by this one. I think he's an all-star. He bats for a very low... No, what? Actually, top of the good category here. Rhys Hoskins, guys, has over 20 home runs. I think he has like 20, maybe 21, maybe more. That's good, but the only reason I'm putting him in good instead of all-star, he just bats for such a low average. All he does is hit home run. He doesn't really get too many like singles, doubles, triples. You know, when you're looking for that all-around player, I put him in all-star. Feels more of an all-around player, but can't put him there quite yet. Moving on here, Ryan Mountcastle. Ryan Mountcastle is an average player. I think he is a very underrated player. For the Baltimore Orioles, he can hit the ball hard. He can drive in runs. He can get on base. He's pretty fast as well. I think he's that all-around player, and I think in the coming years, he's going to be moving up these categories. Moving on. I don't know who this is, guys. You got to let me know in the comments. I am not a Tigers. I have no clue who any of the players on the Tigers are, really. I just know Akil Baddoo and Miguel Cabrera, Jonathan Scope, and that's really it for the Tigers. You got to let me know who this player is. And let me know if you're a Tigers fan down below. I'm going to start studying their lineup. I do not know many of their players. I'm going to put him in average, though, because I don't know who he is. Next one is the best first baseman in all of baseball, guys. Vlad Jr. I mean, he's better than Max Muncy, no doubt in my mind. Vladimir Guerrero Jr., guys. Hits home runs like it's so easy. And he gets on base hits, extra base hits. He doesn't steal too many bases, but that doesn't matter, guys. Because when you have a player like that, and he has the highest average in the league, I'm pretty sure. Unless something changed because of last night's games. But the Rangers, by the way, congratulations to the Blue Jays. Yesterday they had a doubleheader and they won 10-0. and 5-0. I'm pretty sure that was the score of the games. Moving on to Gurriel. Gurriel's good. Right there behind Hoskins. He's good. He hits for a high average. Doesn't hit too many home runs. Tries in some RBIs. You're just looking for a little bit more out of Gurriel. But I think all in all, this was a great tier list to do. Coming at you next time with a shortstop tier list. So stay tuned for that. And I just want to say again, thank you guys for the views on that video. I'll put the link to that video if you want to watch it, if you haven't watched it already, in the description. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you in the next one.